I don't know how to start a video, but I'm Hootless, and this is the first video for a new colony, and this colony is going to be called Peach Creek. So, we'll start our colony, we'll do Crash Landed, as usual. Rough, permadeath mode. We are playing with mods this time, actually. I'll back out here. I'll show you guys the mods. So we have EDB, Prepare Carefully. EDB is the author, so it's just Prepare Carefully, I guess. Expanded Prosthetics and Organ Engineering, which allows us to craft prosthetic limbs and organs and create artificial organs in various forms, like it says right here. So mostly that means that we can create better bionics and we can create organs to put into people, artificial ones. I don't know what kind of effects that'll have, but we'll see. Chemicals and neutroamine? Neutramine? I don't know. Basically, we can tame boom rats and boomolopes and harvest nitroglycerin from them, and then craft the nitroglycerin into neutroamine, which is used for making drugs. So without this mod, you can't really make drugs from scratch yourself, because you need neutroamine. So, like, you can make a few things, like, you know, smoke leaf joints, but, you have to have the neutroamine for, the fun drugs. Next up, Hospitality A15. A15 is the version, so it's just Hospitality, Orion's Hospitality, I guess. Basically, it's just a complete overhaul of the visitor system. So it completely changes, like, how visitors work, and the better service you show them when they're visiting your colony, like if you give them nice accommodations and treat them really well, then they can give you gifts, and it'll improve your relationship with their faction. And in addition to those, you can try to recruit visitors, like it says right here. There's other things that it does too, I think, but those are the main big ones. But like, you know, you can get basically money by having a hotel that you run. So we might get into that a little bit. Probably not too much though. And like I said, you can recruit the visitors that you get at a hit to the relation with their faction. So I don't know if I'll do that, we'll see. Psychology is a mod that adds in a bunch of new traits. We'll probably see them as we play. Mostly I added this in for desensitized. Essentially making it so that if somebody sees a lot of like corpses and deaths, then they might get the desensitized trait, and that would make it so that they just aren't affected by it anymore, I assume. So that's why this is in here. There's a bunch of other things like anxiety, picky eater, prude, insomniac, but they're just basically traits that, you know, add a little bit more flavor to the game, a little bit more quirks. Next up, miscellaneous core. That's just a core library. It's just in here so that we can have miscellaneous robots, which allows us to craft robots, I guess. It says hauling bot, cleaning bot. And then this one adds in kitchen, crafter, builder, and hospital bots. So essentially, we'll be able to craft various robots that do things around our colony. It's not early game by any means, it's actually pretty late game. You have to have like plasteel and a bunch of other things to be able to make it. But, you know, that could be fun to play with at some point. Right here, we have craftable robots, which also adds in a gardener bot, a crafting bot, and a mining bot. So, I believe recipes added to machining table. I think this is like separate from this one. So there's two different types of crafter bots. One is probably easier to get, but this other one also adds in the gardener bot. And the mining bot, I believe the builder bot is capable of mining, so, you know, we probably won't use that much. Next up, the new trainer and AI persona core crafting, which allows us to craft neurotrainers, joy wires, pain stoppers, and AI persona cores. So that's all pretty cool. I feel like being able to craft the brain implants, neurotrainer, joy wire, and pain stopper should be in the game by default anyways. So we'll probably craft these eventually. Joy wires can be really handy, so can pain stoppers. I'm not really sure what neurotrainers do. I think they increase the skill that a colonist has with Well, just like with a skill, I guess. So it increases their level of proficiency, maybe. We have RimWorld, which adds in a bunch of new types of weapons. It adds in like a few different factions, and they have different strong points and different weaknesses, and they do different things, basically. Next up, Wildlife tab, which is something that I really feel should be in the base game anyways. It's, you'll see easier when we get in-game, but it adds in another tab, like the Animals tab or the Architect tab. And what it does is it lets you designate any of the wildlife that's on the map quickly and easily to be either, like, hunted or tamed. So that just allows us to not have to search out animals, and instead, if there are any animals on the map, we can just designate them to be hunted. It's really handy. Next up, Glitter Tech, which I believe adds in, like, more endgame stuff. So it's a bunch of, like, futuristic things, and that's basically it. I don't really know what all it adds. It doesn't say a whole lot, but I think it's just endgame things that add in a bunch of stuff in the late game that we can play with. So that's all the mods that I have installed right now. I might add in more in the future, but I felt like this was a good start. So now, we'll create a new colony. Crash landed, rough, permadeath. Let's use the seed community. We'll place our... I could place it right here. Average temperature during the winter is... temperature, excuse me. During the winter is 4 degrees. Average temperature during the summer is 64 degrees, so we'll need heaters if we go here. But I don't imagine that we could really get a lot of, like, invaders here. Maybe we could go here. It's a little bit warmer. I don't know what the ramifications are for, like, embarking on a little one-tile thing like this. I guess we'll see. It'll be really interesting. And now we can do the Prepare Carefully mod. So, I'm not gonna mess around with this too much. As you can see, there's like a lot of options. You can randomize the traits, you can set the points, or randomize backstory and whatnot. You can change how they look. But I've already got some colonists that I've set up. I'll remove that colonist, remove this colonist, remove this colonist, and then I'll load up the other two that I have here. Use point limits. These all fit within the default point limits. I don't know how strong those point limits are, but basically we have Birch, the soldier. He just has really good shooting stat. He's not incapable of anything. We have a scientist who is really great at research, and then, you know, of middle greatness with social and medicine. I guess expert is that level. And then this person who it won't let me click on them for some reason. They have... like, they're maxed out on growing, I believe. Why does this guy have a ton of, like, passion for all that stuff? No. So, I'll get rid of this as well. This person is like a grower, a cook, and I think she has one other stat, but I don't remember what it was. Also, we can add in more colonists, like you can see here. It does take a lot of points, though. So, like, if I wanted to do this, I'd have to give them, like, Crypto Sleep, Sickness. And even then, even if I remove all of their skills, give them... Can I re-roll this in such a way that they end up positive? No, I don't think I can. But basically you can have, like, more colonists if you want. So you could have, you know, 5 with relatively low skill. But we'll settle with 3. Also, the traits that they all have are Psychopath and Sanguine? I don't know. This Psychopath makes it so that they don't feel bad about, like, friends dying. I think it's Sanguine. But, Psychopath makes them not care about other people at all. So, they don't get mood boosts from socializing like it says, but also they don't get mood penalties if you're, like, organ harvesting, or if people die, or if they see corpses. So none of that affects them. Sanguine gives them a permanent mood effect of plus 12, so they have, they're just sort of happier most of the time. And that's pretty much it. I don't feel like this is too broken. It just makes it a little bit easier, and then I inevitably die later to the raiders that I always forget to prepare for. So, we'll probably just settle with this. We'll have no dog on embark, no plasteel knife, no pistol, no survival rifle, because we're going to start with a sniper rifle instead. I figure if we're going to have a person who has level 20 shooting, we might as well give him a good weapon. I could probably say like 0 silver. 0. I don't think there's any way of like quickly getting rid of it other than clicking 80 times. So probably won't do anything there. What was the other thing? It won't let me go back to resources now, by the way. I don't know why. Plasteel. Yes. But I can't get to the tab that I assume it is in. Yeah, there's no way for me to get to the resources tab. I don't know why it does that. Like, the top left tab always just doesn't let me click on it. On all of these things. It's really inconvenient. I guess we won't embark with plasteel. We'll just start with a bunch of silver. Lots of silver. We'll just put all of the rest of our points into silver so that we can buy things if we need. There we go. And then we'll start, because that's pretty much it. And I think I'm going to show off like the wildlife tab a little bit, and maybe designate one building to be constructed, but this is just going to be like the... No, I won't designate anything to be constructed. This is just the introductory video where we create the colonists and create the colony. This is our starting area. As you can see, the beach is only on one side, so I guess we'll still be able to get raiders, even though it's like a one-tile embark. So it was supposed to be, you know, nothing could get to us, but it doesn't let you do that. Which is kind of unfortunate, because I feel like it should. If the tile is bordered on all sides by water, then, you know, the actual map should be bordered on all sides by water. Dwarf Fortress certainly lets you do that. And, you know, it's fun once in a while to have an embark like that. This one, it's going to be basically the same as any normal embark. You know, they're still going to be able to attack us. We're still going to get traders and caravans and all that. Just this one side is blocked off. There's the Ancient Danger room that always shows up on every embark site. Yeah, so the wildlife tab real quick looks like this. This is all of the wildlife that is currently on the map, and if I wanted I could say like, you know, hunt that buck or tame this doe, and they'll just get around to it. We can also click on this to jump to them, so that emu is right there. I feel like this should definitely be in the base game. It's just so ridiculously handy, and it seems like something that would have been in the base game already, so maybe they'll add it in. I know that they've added in a couple other things that they saw in mods to the base game. If they felt like it, they being the devs of course, if the devs felt like it fit in the main game, they seem to have no problem with just putting it in. So maybe we'll see the wildlife tab added in the future. If not, you know, the mod's really handy. Could maybe use with like a better graphic right there, but still. So this has been creating the colony of Peach Creek, and hope you guys are all looking forward to the series. It'll start going up tomorrow, and we'll actually get into the meat of the gameplay here, starting tomorrow. So, if you guys are looking forward to the series, remember to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you aren't already. I really recommend it. You know, it really helps me out a lot, and you get these videos straight to your inbox every day at 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Other than that, though, I will see you guys all next time.